You ever get that feeling lately? You're scrolling online and something just feels off. It's not that it's bad exactly, it's just, I don't know, kind of flat. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into that feeling because you are definitely not imagining it. This quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head, right? We are absolutely drowning in content. There's an endless fire hose of articles, pictures, videos, more than any human could ever consume. And so much of it sounds so polished, so confident, but underneath, it just feels hollow, like something's missing. So yeah, that's the billion-dollar question we're tackling today. What in the world is going on? Where is all this noise coming from? And why does finding something genuinely true feel like searching for a needle in a haystack the size of a planet?
To really get to the bottom of this, we need to name our prime suspect. And there's a term that's starting to pop up that describes this problem perfectly. AI slop.
Now here's the really tricky part about AI slop. It doesn't always look wrong. In fact, it usually looks pretty good. It's well written, it sounds super authoritative, but its goal isn't to actually help you understand something. Its goal is just to fill space, to grab your click, to keep you scrolling. It's the junk food of information. It fills you up, but there's no real nutrition there.
And let's be super clear about this. Slop is not the same thing as misinformation. Misinformation is a deliberate lie. Someone is trying to trick you. Slop is different. The danger isn't that it's trying to deceive you, it's that it's diluting everything. It's just a tidal wave of confident-sounding meaninglessness that drowns out the real, thoughtful, human stuff.
So where does all this stuff come from? It's not just appearing out of thin air. Nope, there is a massive engine that is churning this stuff out 24/7. So let's look at the motive and the method.
The motive is actually pretty simple. On today's internet, there's really only one thing that matters: your attention. The whole system is built to reward whoever can pump out the most content the fastest. It's a game of volume and speed, not accuracy or depth or, care. And that kind of environment is the perfect breeding ground for low-effort, high-volume slop.
And this is where AI enters the picture. You have to get this. AI didn't create this problem. The fire was already burning. Generative AI just showed up with a giant tanker truck full of gasoline. It suddenly made it unbelievably cheap and fast to create endless amounts of good enough content, which just supercharged a problem we already had. So how does this machine actually work? Well, it's this crazy recursive feedback loop. Step 1, an AI spits something out, maybe with a tiny error in it. Step 2, a human, maybe in a hurry, publishes it without really checking. Step 3, the algorithms see people clicking on it, so they push it to more people. But here's the kicker, steps 4 and 5. Other AIs then crawl the web and scrape up that same article, treating it as a fact. They ingest it as training data, and just like that, the error gets laundered. For the next AI model, that little fabrication isn't a mistake anymore. It's just part of the truth. We have to remember what these AI models actually are. They are not thinking. They don't have a clue what truth is. They are just incredibly powerful pattern-matching machines. They're like autocomplete on steroids. Their whole job is to predict the next most plausible word in a sentence. So when they don't know something, they don't stop, they just make up whatever sounds most likely. And they deliver that made-up stuff with total confidence.
Okay, so we've got our suspect, we've got the motive, and the method. Now let's take a look at the crime scene. And I gotta warn you, when you see the scale of this problem, it's pretty staggering.
Just look at this. For the very first time in history, automated bots make up the majority of internet traffic. More than half. Let that sink in for a second. Most of the activity you see online, the clicks, the views, the comments, is not even being done by people anymore. It's just bots, faking popularity and creating a totally false sense of consensus. And it's not just the traffic, it's the actual stuff we read. It's estimated that more than half of all new articles published this year are generated by an AI. Think about that. We have crossed a threshold where original human-written work is now in the minority. We're literally being out-published by the machines. So where does this all lead? Well, it leads to this terrifying idea called model collapse. As AIs are fed a diet of their own AI-generated slop, they start to get worse. They forget things, they lose nuance, and they start reinforcing their own mistakes over and over. The internet is literally starting to eat its own tail, and we could end up with future AIs that are actually dumber and less reliable than the ones we have today. Okay,
So that's a pretty bleak picture. I get it. But this isn't an anti-AI talk. The point isn't to just throw our hands up in despair. The point is to figure out, okay, how do we use these incredibly powerful tools without completely breaking our connection to reality? I absolutely love this metaphor because it makes everything so clear. The problem isn't the tool, it's how we see the tool. We're starting to treat AI like some kind of all-knowing oracle when we should be treating it like a really, really good calculator. A calculator is an assistant. It's amazing at doing the math, but you are the one who decides which problem is worth solving in the first place, and you decide what the answer actually means.
And that really boils down to this huge difference between using AI responsibly and not. With AI-assisted creation, a human is in the driver's seat. You define the task, you check the work, and you take responsibility for the final product. But with AI-driven creation, the human steps away. Judgment gets outsourced, and accountability, poof, it just vanishes. The difference isn't about the tech, it's about ethics and ownership. So what can we actually do about this? You and me. How can we, as people who create things and read things online, help push back against this tidal wave of slop? Well, here's a really simple but powerful checklist. Before you hit publish on anything you made with AI, just ask yourself these 4 questions. 1. What did I bring to this? What's my unique experience or insight here? 2. Did I actually check this stuff, or did I just trust the machine? 3. Am I really helping someone understand something better, or am I just adding to the noise? And 4. If I took away all the slick AI polish, is there still something of value here? If the answers are, I don't know, you might just be making more slop.
And really, that's the whole ballgame. That's the main takeaway. The solution isn't less technology. The solution is more humanity, more care, more intention. Taking that extra minute to check your work, to add a personal touch, and to remember that there's another human being on the other side of the screen.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. As our digital world gets more and more flooded with this kind of polished, confident, yet totally empty content, maybe the biggest threat isn't that we'll start believing the wrong things. Maybe the real danger is that we'll just get so tired, so worn out by all the noise that we just stop caring about what's true altogether. And that's a future that is worth fighting to prevent.
Thanks for watching. Reality X Decoded isn't official teaching. We simply explore and aim to stay as accurate as possible. If anything seems off or you have questions, comment below and let us know what to decode next. Don't forget to subscribe.